Welcome to the Imaginative Storm Writing Prompt of the Week session. I'm James Nave. Thank you ever so much for joining me. My creative collaborator, Allegra Houston's on an errand today, so I'm going it solo. Every Saturday morning, 10 a.m. Mountain Time and noon Eastern Time, we gather on a Zoom call with a group of writers, usually around 30, and we work for an hour generating one piece of writing. We only spend 10 minutes generating the piece of writing, and the rest of the time we set it up and then we read it aloud after it's generated, and then we discuss it. So it's a great hour. And you can always join us 10 a.m. Mountain Time, noon Eastern Time. Just go to imaginativestorm.com on Saturday, and we will welcome you into the room. And you'll find a link there as well, the Zoom link. So what we do every Saturday is start out with an image. And once the image appears on the Saturday call, everybody on the call generates a private personal list. So here's my personal list I generated today. You can see it's a little messy. I don't worry about spelling. I just look at the image and generate something. It's usually a word or two, sometimes a phrase. So what I'd like to do now is give you the same experience. I'm going to show you the image, and when the image pops up, I'll time you for 2 minutes and generate something on a list. And after that, I'll come back and tell you what we'll do next. So here you go. Here's your image. So now you have your personal list, just like the folks did on the Saturday call. So what I do on the call after everybody generates the personal list, I go around the Zoom room and I ask each person on the call to contribute one word or phrase so that we have a collective list as well, or a community list. And this is what the community list looks like. So when I finish getting the words from the community list, each person has their personal list and the community list. So what I'd like to do now is read our community list for you, so you'll have that list to work with along with your personal list. So here we go. Fulcrum, trust, symmetrical synergy, vulnerability, split second, be flexible, I've got your back, fatted cat, stretch to our limits, solid ground, purple night, center of gravity, two become one, no common sense, reach, transcending flesh, skin tight, indigo spotlight, balancing act, gravity gives a pass, reach roach, dancer reclining, fearless youth, aligned, sense of love, female stability, just try it, 4,000 dreams, enter being, circus, circus. Now, I read the list fairly easy, didn't try to emphasize anything. But if you wanted to pause for a moment and play around with the list, you could do all kinds of things with it. The Fulcrum Trust took a split second to be flexible. I stretched our limits onto solid ground. The Purple Knight had a center of gravity. So, as you can see, with just a little playfulness, you can generate all kinds of things. So, that imaginative leap through this list allows your imaginative sensibilities to loosen up a bit. You give yourself permission to make some imaginative leaps. So, now what I would like to do is ask you to get ready to generate a 10-minute timed piece of writing. And the way it works, it's very simple. Take the list that you have in front of you that you generated, your personal list, and the list that we will show you on the screen, the words, and make something of it. Let your imagination guide you. Move through the 10 minutes doing whatever you want. Some people on the Saturday call will take one word like trust, and they will go from there and never look back on the list. Other people will put as many elements on the list together in the 10-minute timed writing as they possibly can. So it can take all kinds of forms. The idea is to let your imagination collaborate with your rational mind and generate something from the imaginative storm to the creative form. It's all about allowing your imagination to guide you through the 10 minutes. And your 10 minutes begins right now. So now you have 10 minutes timed writing, 10 minutes of original material. It didn't exist 10 minutes ago. It now is yours, something brand new. So we would like, or I would like for you to, and we would, because I'm speaking for Allegra as well. She'll be back next week. What I'd like for you to do is to put me on pause and read your work out loud, just like we do in the Zoom rooms. And if somebody's in the room with you, feel free, let them hear your voice. So put me on pause and read your work out loud. So now you've read your work aloud, you've heard what your voice sounds like, and you may have noticed when you were reading your work aloud, you may have noticed some editing opportunities. You might have sensed that you wanted to switch some words around, you wanted to play with it a bit. And that's perfectly fine. And editing by way of reading aloud is a perfectly legitimate approach to getting your rough draft into a form that will eventually make its way into the world. You will eventually feel comfortable allowing people to read it. And I will say a lot of the people on the Saturday calls have, some of them have published their work. So a lot can happen when you use your imaginative mind. So I hope you like what you wrote. If you do, we have a community called the Circle Community. And if you go to imaginativestorm.com, you can find a link to that community and you can post the work on the community so we can read it and get to know you better. And the other people in the community will get to know you as well. And please feel free to join us on our Saturday calls. All you have to do is go to imaginativestorm.com. And when the little window pops up and it asks you to put your email in there, add your email, and we will send you a newsletter every Saturday with the Zoom link so you can join our workshop. It's always free. And we have a lot of other resources as well. We do live workshops, we do Zoom workshops, we have some books, lots of resources for writers. And you can just contact us and say hello. However you want to do it, we really appreciate you being with us. We appreciate you being in this community. And we do hope to see you on a Saturday call and read something on the Circle. Until next time, I'll just say goodbye and happy writing.